Christmas is typically a wonderful time of the year. Unless there's some sort of family curse around Christmas, odds are you're going to be loving life when December rolls around. All friends and family somehow manage to annually be cheerful and excited, even though the primary thought running through their heads is, "Good God, it's so cold outside." I mentioned Christmas being typically a wonderful time of the year because for the past few years, I have taken it upon myself to watch some truly terrible Christmas movies. A few years back, I thought I would watch 25 bad Christmas movies in the month of December because, you know, I'm a goose. What started as a cute idea to get my YouTube channel up and running has morphed into an instinctual feeling of dread whenever I see Hallmark plastered on a title card. I've seen so many of those movies, I've become almost an expert of sorts. It's a field I never wanted to be an expert in, but it just sort of happens. Like how a former drug abuser becomes a motivational speaker. You know, I think I could probably nail every trope that exists in those movies if I really tried to. Have you ever noticed how silly someone sounds when they say, "Is there no more Christmas spirit?" Then this video is just for you. In this video, I'm going to be turning that frown upside down and turning your holiday jeers into holiday cheers by creating the most generic, yet scarily accurate Hallmark Christmas movie. You're probably unsurprised to hear that I am, in fact, a normal-ass dude. I don't have any credentials to write a coherent and full story, so odds are the character development will be lacking and there should be some plot holes. In other words, I'm overqualified. The title of the movie has to be something that is just a regular thing that happens around the holidays, and if I'm feeling saucy, I may make a pun out of it. Till I come up with something else, the working title is going to be By the Christmas Tree. You may be asking how I can come up with a title before I have any plot, and I fire back with, "Do you think I know what I'm doing?" Our main character is going to be a struggling, very attractive actress who is trying to put food on the table for the holiday season because times are tough. Oh, no, that wasn't her character in the film. That was her real-life biography. It's best to get struggling film stars, not because they're cheap and this is a low-budget production, but because at the start of these movies, their lives are pretty bad, and they've essentially been method acting for years for that role. Let's cast a girl and name her... Sophia? Sophie. We're going to call her Sophie. She majored in psychology, has recently gotten into painting, loves dogs more than people, and adores the holiday season. She's currently dating just the absolute worst person ever. Like, it's stunning this guy hasn't been stabbed to death because he is so insufferable. If doesn't beat his girlfriend is a redeemable quality, then that would be the only thing he has going for him. Let's call him Brett. Although I say the name in a terse tone, there is no explicable reason for calling him Brett. So before I continue narrating this daytime Emmy snub, I may as well teach you something. There's a common device called active listening. Active listening is withholding details from the viewer in order for them to pay more attention and become invested in what is happening on the screen. If you saw a movie that was like, "Angela, my ex-girlfriend, what are you doing walking by my house? You live across town with your new boyfriend," you would say a few things. One, you would say that no one talks like that. And two, you would start to get bored because everything is being explained to you. Now imagine if you're watching a scene and it's a guy who glances out his window and sees a girl walking by. He angrily runs to his door, slams it open, and sternly asks, "Why are you here?" That would for sure keep your attention, more than the other one at least. You would become the preposterous man asking all of the questions. Because I'm providing commentary, active listening isn't the best idea for this video, but you'll pay attention to it whenever you watch movies from now on. The movie starts with a collection of holiday sounds. The budget in this film is very low. Did you seriously think we could license Christmas music? Are you kidding me? You're going to have to deal with the store brand collection of holiday sounds, and you're going to like it. The opening shot is a montage of a snowy city, nay, town, nay, village, nay, Hamlet. Yes, Hamlet. Underpaid extras and child actors are playing around because it's the holidays and everyone must be ecstatic. Our main protagonist, Sophie, is walking down the street wearing a cute outfit with grocery bags in her arms. She happens to know literally everyone in literally every shot. The actress's face is sore after repeating this take several times as she hasn't stopped smiling for 30 minutes. Finally, Sophie gets to her dad's house. It's not her parents' house because her mom is dead. Having a dead parent is legitimately a trope in at least 80-90% of the movies I've seen. I wish I was joking. Sophie has a brief interaction with her dad where it's revealed to the viewer she has some sort of occupation that isn't normally sustainable, like a professional artist or something like that. The fact she's smiling at all is a plot hole because if you had her job around Christmas time, you would be freaking out because you can't afford rent. If you didn't listen to the words in the next few sentences of the scene, it'd probably be something like, "That's my girl." As she unloads groceries, sleigh bells fall out of a bag, and she stares at it with this look behind her eyes. And her dad mentions some quirk about his dead wife, like, Sophie, before your mother passed, she used to love wearing sleigh bells while I clapped that ass reindeer style. She loved the way they... Sophie holds his hand, looks him in the eye, and says, I miss her too, Dad. It's at this point Sophie gets a phone call from her boyfriend, Brett. Brett just finished a business meeting where he... one second, just gotta... empowered a lot of moving parts in the latest merger, and this cutting-edge tech is going to scale corporate values through the roof. Quote, this is huge, Sophie. Sophie asks Brett if he's going to make it back in time for the big holiday event, and Brett says, of course, bitch, then hangs up the phone, and Sophie makes the face that says, yeah, okay, buddy, and then she hangs up. Here is where the plot thickens, and by thickens, I mean starts. Sophie's dad mentions a holiday festival, and Sophie lights up, saying how she's super excited for it, but also super nervous. She explains in full exposition about how she's going to a new town on a freelancing gig to create a large art piece for a holiday festival. I haven't started yet because I haven't seen their town yet. Christmas needs to be special, and I want my art to be important to the townspeople. Yes, the massive plot hole of how can she wait so long to figure this out is intentional. There's more useless dialogue between her and her father, then it cuts to Sophie going to bed. She's in full makeup and isn't looking necessarily risque, but she's provocative enough for a Mormon to say, golly, we have to cover her up. on my television? Sophie looks at a picture of her family on a nightstand and is sad. Hard cut to a really bright, snowy shot of the hamlet, like so bright it assaults your eyes after you're already adjusted to the night scene. Sophie and her dad have some closing words, and then she gets on some public transport and waves goodbye. The entire hamlet is there because there's such a small town that a train pulling in is like a family event. Shots of a huge metropolis. Sophie gets off the train and looks at the sky. I haven't decided yet if her face should say, I'm just a small town girl trying to make it in the big city, or if she should loudly exclaim it to everybody. What follows is her leaving the train platform, and she bumps into some rude yet ruggedly handsome man. They have a brief quarrel about how she should watch where she's going and how he should show some manners. Sure. Sophie, while walking to her hotel, sees an ungodly amount of people. It's ungodly to her at least, to everyone else it's a normal amount for a decent-sized city. She checks into her hotel and asks the concierge, is there this many people walking around normally? And the concierge is sort of like, yeah, this is a major city, that's kind of how they are, miss. Sophie is stunned. Are you constantly fascinated knowing that there's so many personalities wandering around every day and everyone has a story to tell? Sure. Your room is 42069. Welcome to Blast Hotels. Have a blast. Sophie turns around. She sees the same rude dude with the tude from earlier. After confronting him, because why wouldn't you confront someone you had a very minor yet shitty interaction with, she learns that his name is Jake. Although he has a gruff exterior, Sophie can tell that there's something kind behind it. Sophie then has the brilliant idea that she's going to set up a huge Christmas tree for the festival, and everyone in the city is going to use something close to them as ornaments, and Jake is going to help her. How's that for tying in the name for a movie? And so, Sophie and Jake go around the city interacting with people, telling them to attend the festival and bring an ornament. Jake realizes that Sophie is nice to everyone, and they have a brief conversation about it. Well, that's the point of spreading the Christmas spirit. Everyone deserves to be happy around this time of the year. She then gives the cheeseburger to a homeless man, and Jake makes a similar face to the one Ben Affleck makes at the end of Good Will Hunting. Jake tells Sophie about some small little quirks he has, like how he likes to toast his marshmallows before putting them in hot cocoa, and that he finds ugly Christmas sweaters a little sexy. He doesn't say a little sexy because that's a little too full on for my Christian television movie, so he has to say something like really cute. The two spend more time getting to know one another, and they find out they have a lot in common, like being hot and having dead parents. Insert some 30-second montage of them speaking to strangers. As they're going around the neighborhood, Sophie is hanging something from a ladder, and a kid runs by and knocks into it. Sophie falls off the ladder, and Jake catches her. They land on the ground in that cheesy pose where they're like an inch away from each other's face, and like you could tell something's there, like only a bond that Hallmark characters who have met each other that week have. Jake helps Sophie up, and they dust themselves off when Jake says, "Hey, Soph." They've gotten to a point where he could call her Soph. It's like their little thing. It's like it's adorable how close they've gotten over the past week. I was wondering, for the festival, I've had a lot of fun these past few days with you, and I was just curious if... And just then, Sophie gets a phone call from her fiancé, Brett. Brett says, "Yo, listen, bitch, the merger went through." I don't remember his voice from before. I could look back. Fuck it, who cares? "Yo, listen, bitch, the merger went through. I can come to your festival thing or whatever." "Oh, Brett, wow, that's so great. I'm looking forward to seeing you." That was my fiancé, Brett. He said he's coming to the festival. After all this time, after all this planning and networking, you didn't think to mention you had a fiancé? Well, no, I mean, I thought we were really getting somewhere, and it's all a lie, a ploy to plan some party? Well, Jake, this is my job, and so I'm just a job to you? No, I'm just a stupid little worker drone for you to mooch off of. No, I'll hang tchotchkes for some stupid holiday. Don't say that. You know what? I hope you enjoy your festival with your fiancé, because I won't be there. Jake! Sad, there's sad stuff going on the screen. Hey, Sophie, you miss me? Yeah, Brett, I did. Jake is at a bar, necking some repulsive drink that happened to be some quirk of his. I'll have another gin and eggnog. And the bartender slides him the drink and says, "Hey, what's the deal, buddy? That was your 5th gin and eggnog in the past hour. The festival's happening tonight. You should be happy." You wouldn't understand, Ted. You know, you and this girl really seem to be getting along quite well. Never saw you this happy in years. Yeah, well, that was just a lie, Ted. She doesn't care about me at all. Jake, I could tell from the look in her eyes there was something there. Even if there was something there, why should I care? She really hurt me, Ted. She really hurt me. Because I saw the same look in your eyes too, Jake. I don't care if child trafficking increases 200%. We need to boost our profit margins. Hey, Sophie, I don't say this often, but this thing you put together doesn't look as bad as what you would normally do. You know what, Brett? I put a lot of hard work into this, and I'm really proud of it. Whoa, calm down. It's just some stupid party. This isn't some stupid party, Brett! And the music cuts, and everyone's looking at Sophie. She managed to get this entire city to love her as much as everyone from her hamlet loves her, and they have never, ever seen her raise her voice. This is the city's holiday festival. It's not my stupid party, because it's everyone's party. This is important to each and every person in this great city, and we don't need you ruining our Christmas spirit. Everyone cheers, the crowd goes fucking nuts, like, wow. And you know what, Brett? And she takes off her ring. It looks like I won't be needing this anymore. She fucking heaves that motherfucker into the crowd. Sophie, Brett says before the local dog shop owner, sicks his pack of Rottweiler Husky mix hounds on him. Brett runs away while the dogs are tearing him to shreds, and the party goes on and everyone loses their goddamn mind in happiness. Jake is walking up to the entrance of the festival because he's a little taken aback at how nice everything looks. He gets in for free because the man taking admission is the same homeless dude they gave a cheeseburger to earlier. He's walking around and then he sees this huge tree with everyone's ornaments on it. He can't help but smile as he looks up and down the whole thing. Someone taps him on his shoulder and Jake turns around. Do you want some hot cocoa? I toasted the marshmallows. Soph, this looks incredible. You look incredible. She's wearing an ugly sweater, by the way. I'm proud you put this all together. She puts a finger to his lip. No, we put it together. I ended things with Brett. He was such a jerk. He was never there for me. I'm sorry, Soph. I hope you find someone who can be there for you. I think I already have. She looks at him. The two move in. They kiss. Everybody claps. And the movie ends. Alright, I'm not gonna lie when I say this. I had way too much fun making that. I got myself worked up writing it towards the end. I'm sure I'll look back on this and be horribly disappointed at how shitty it was, but I'm actually really fucking proud with how it's turned out. It's so generic and so lousy, but I still feel like it's 100% accurate and hits all the tropes in every bad Christmas movie. It does what it's supposed to do. It had plot holes, it had fast romance, it had Christmas, it did not have a budget. It was perfect. I can't help but say it, but I feel like I learned something from all of this. Not everything has to be amazing or perfect from the get-go. It can just be, because it was fun. And you know what? That's what Christmas is all about. This all started with me being an Ebenezer Scrooge and hating the process of watching 25 bad Christmas movies. But in the end, all those characters who didn't understand the Christmas spirit, I think they were me. To all of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, you're going to hell. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, send it to a friend. They might like it too. Also be sure to subscribe or follow this channel on Instagram to be notified of future releases.